Welcome back to TNT Go Dutch. This week we're in the beautiful city of
The
Delft.
very windy city of Delft.
But you may be thinking to yourself, they've already done a Delft video and I got to see some pretty cool things.
And you're right. And we will link video somewhere up here, but also down in the description if you want to take a peek at that. But the reason we're here today is not to explore the city, but more to talk about a video we've been wanting to do for a while.
Yeah, this video is interesting because we're going to talk about how to make enemies annoy, upset.
There are so many videos out there on how to make friends with the Dutch and how to fit in, and we are totally bucking that trend. And we are going to talk about how to make people mad here.
Yeah, and it's funny because I talked to some of my Dutch friends about this, and I said, "Oh, how to make the Dutch mad?" It's like, "Oh, that's going to be hard to do." And then I say, "Well, number one," and then I say number one. They're like, "Well, yeah, true." And so it's definitely a situation that these things are stuff that annoy, upset, and piss off the Dutch.
We know that all of these aren't exactly going to be universal, and you may feel one type of way or another about them. These are totally our opinions.
And you may have more of these that are not included on this list.
And we're interested to know. So if you have more things that annoy the Dutch, like, for some people, it's just us purely existing here annoy them. Drop a comment below.
All right, let's go down the street a little bit and we'll get to number one.
Let's do it.
Number one.
Number one.
Number one is probably the quickest thing and the thing that we heard the most before we move over. If you've watched a Walter's World video about the Netherlands, you've heard about this one.
Or not just bikes.
That is, don't walk through the bike lane as a pedestrian.
Red means dead.
Yeah, if you're walking on the red bricks, you're in the area that the bikes are supposed to be on, and especially if you're in the bigger cities like Amsterdam or
it's like red bricks, red pavement,
yeah,
like anything like that.
You're going to end up probably getting hit by a bike or getting someone yell at you or the ever-present aggressive bike bell rings.
You hear that bike bell, you are in trouble.
Take a look, see where you're at, make sure you need to get out the way.
Sometimes it's inevitable. Like, for instance, there's some construction going on by our house where they're actually redoing the bike lane, expanding the bike lane, and there's no place for pedestrians to walk. But generally, the Netherlands has pretty good infrastructure where there's places for people to walk, places for people to bike, and places for cars to drive.
Yeah, but that being said, there sometimes there's construction on the bike lanes themselves, so they have to drive on the sidewalk, and it's always a little bit risky.
Yeah, honestly, I feel a bit more safe, like using the zebra crossings in some of the major cities with cars, than I do crossing the bike lane and being afraid that I'm going to get hit or I'm going to hurt someone. So just be really careful and look to the left, the right, the left, and the right again before crossing.
Yeah, there's one intersection right near our house near Lammerskans when you cross across the street there, and Tracey's always worried she's going to get hit by a bike.
Yep. Better to be safe than dead.
Hit by a bike.
Number two. This is something I'm pretty passionate about.
And something we experienced on our way over here.
Uh-huh.
And it's talking in the quiet car.
The stilt coupe.
The silent car. And if you're on a train, more often than not, at least one or two of the trains will have a cabin that you're supposed to be quiet in.
And you can tell that because it says it on the door, it says it on the window. There's little signs with the person going.
And I don't know how many times we've gotten onto a train. We're in the silent car, Tracy and I are like, all right, cool, we'll just put our headphones in.
Typically it's after filming and we're just kind of spent and we just need quiet.
And then somebody will pop in being incredibly loud.
So loud, talking to their friends. On the phone is the worst. On speakerphone. You shouldn't do that anyway on the trains, but especially not in the silent car.
And we've seen people aggressively tell other people, like, point to the sign and say, you are in the silent car.
And I always want to give those people a hug because I'm a little too timid to do that.
So if you are visiting the Netherlands and you do want to make the enemies of the Dutch, talk in the silent car really loudly or play your music.
Yeah, they'll kick you out real quick. Number 3.
Number 3 is one that I feel is becoming more and more true everywhere in the world, not just the Netherlands, but it is showing up uninvited,
Yeah,
unexpectedly, just being at someone's house.
especially during dinner time.
Yeah, so I feel that most of the times that we have someone knock on our door or something like that that we're not expecting, it's somebody either trying to sell us something or somebody trying to ask for donations or things like that. And that was true in the US as well.
And I
And
hated it.
Tracy and I were talking about this. She's like, "Oh, people should call first before they come
I'm
over."
like, people should text first, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's definitely a generational thing. The millennial culture and everyone like that really just doesn't want people showing up without expecting it.
And something we've kind of noticed is it seems like the Dutch are planners, and you can tell that from the bathroom calendar they have hanging in their downstairs toilet. Um, they like to make plans and
Hmm.
showing up unexpected. I get it.
Yeah,
Sometimes I'm in my pajamas and I don't want to answer the door. I
yeah,
get it.
yeah. The fourth thing that you could do to upset the Dutch.
It's called the Netherlands Holland and use those terms interchangeably.
Yeah, there is a part of the Netherlands that is Holland. There's a North Holland and a South Holland. We
There
live in
is.
South Holland.
Yep, absolutely. However, if you say Holland, you're neglecting 10 out of the 12 provinces.
Yeah. And I find that if you go a little further east, that they get more upset with being lumped into the Holland group there.
So it's the Netherlands and not Holland. And
Right.
it hasn't been that way for
Quite a while now.
a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Which is really interesting when you see so much of the souvenirs and things like that that are geared towards tourists. Those say Holland on them.
they
And-
say Holland or they say Amsterdam, which we'll get to momentarily here.
Yeah. But it is definitely one of those types of things that it's not inclusive, it's not everything. Don't mistake the two, or you may end up with somebody a little bit upset with you.
It's the Netherlands, folks.
Number 5.
Number 5.
This was probably the most stereotypical thing that can possibly be out there. And in the US, it's even called going Dutch. It's making sure that you pay for your portion of going out or having a drink or things like that, making sure that everyone pays their amount for what they ordered and had.
Via Tikkie.
Tikkie is especially. Tikkie is an app that's kind of like Venmo in the
Or
US.
Cash App.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's used to be able to make transactions between people and send money back and forth to different ways. And it really feels that here, people are very much more adamant about it. Like if you and I were to go out to dinner as
Mhm.
friends, and if you were to have, a €5 beer,
Sure.
then I would send you a Tikkie, say, "Hey, here's €5," or I'd ask for the €5 from you to make sure that I got paid back for it all. In the US, it's much more of a like, "Oh, I'll get this time, you get next time," that type of stuff.
Like, for instance, when we go out with Tammy and Eric from Soul to Soul Travels, like,
Mhm.
if we do dinner and drinks, like, one couple will get the round of drinks or however many rounds we decide to go for. And then someone will get dinner and we'll make sure that we're both covered.
Yeah, and whereas here, I've heard stories of Americans that they went to dinner with some of their Dutch friends, and at the end of the dinner, they like took a photo of everyone, and they're like, "Oh, it's so great that you took a photo of everyone." And I was like, "Oh no, I was just trying to make sure I remembered who all was here for the Tikkie, so I could send everybody a Tikkie for the dinner."
Yeah. And I was reading a post recently on the Americans in the Netherlands Facebook group about a woman who had gone back to New York City, and it was a bunch of people, and when the bill came, like everyone pulled out cash to like pay the bill. And I think that's what's so great about here is like someone will get the bill, not bother the waitress with like 17 different transactions, and then you sort it out after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so not paying your Tikkie, not taking care of the Tikkie, or just not paying your portion of things is very much frowned upon by the Dutch.
Yeah, I feel like that's a really good way to get people upset at you.
Number 6 is true for anybody who's living in the Netherlands who doesn't live in Amsterdam, and it's that
If you live in the Netherlands, when people assume you live in Amsterdam and don't realize that there's more to the Netherlands beyond that.
and it's true for people, especially like Tracy, who's from
I can commiserate because I grew up in New York State, but every time I tell people that, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Manhattan, Carrie Bradshaw, Cosmopolitan, Sex and the City."
yeah,
Not quite.
no.
So I can commiserate a little bit.
It's definitely true when you tell people like, "Oh, I'm from the Netherlands." They're like, "Oh, their only place they really know is Amsterdam. Maybe they know a little bit about like where Rotterdam or The Hague
The
is."
Hague because of the
ICC.
ICC and things like that. But yeah, beyond that, not so much.
Yeah, and this goes back a little bit to those culture shocks we talked about a few weeks ago. If you haven't watched our culture shocks video, I highly recommend it. We'll put the link up to there. But it's really just there's so much more rich history, so much more going on in this entire country than just the Amsterdam. Just like there's more going on in the UK than just London, or more than the US than just New York and California.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 7.
This is another one that I really, really hate.
Mm-hmm.
Being late.
And I feel like this is true in the business world in most places, but I feel that the Netherlands here, they don't like it when you're late.
Yeah, and that makes sense because it's wasting everyone's time.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if you are going to be late, you probably need to give people a heads up. Pick up the phone, shoot a text, make a phone call. I think that goes for like doctor's appointments, like at your GP, like they work things out in about 15-minute increments. So you're cutting into their time, and then they're late for the next appointment, and that continues on and on. So I completely get that.
But in some cultures, you're expected to be late for some social events. Like if you're going to go out with some friends or to a party with some friends in Mexico or Italy or things like that, it's expected to be a half hour late, if not a couple hours late, or things like that. It's just not that way here in the Netherlands. If you really want to piss off a Dutch person, just tell them you're going to be, hey, let's meet for a drink at 6 and then don't show up till 7, because that will really upset them. And it's a good way to lose some Dutch friends or some Dutch potential friends.
Yeah, absolutely. So be on time.
Second to last is something that we've done recently to kind of upset some people is talk bad or talk poorly
disparagingly
of Dutch food, especially when it comes to cheese. We didn't talk bad about Dutch cheese because Dutch cheese is really good.
And maybe that's something we should have talked about in our video too. Dutch cheese is amazing. Dutch bread,
really great.
Insanely better than
American
anything we could get in the US.
That being said, if you do want to piss off a Dutch person, say, oh, the cheese is terrible here.
Or call Gouda Gouda.
Yeah, can I get some of that Gouda cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Gouda cheese is the best cheese I've ever had in my life. That's a good way to end up with some people that just really annoyed at you, because here, Gouda cheese is considered to be just like the basic cheese for a lot of people. So saying some disparaging things about Dutch cheese will end up with quite a few Dutch people mad at you really, really quickly.
But if we are curious about exploring Dutch food a little bit more, so if you're interested in exploring that along with us, stay tuned for next week's video because we've got a fun one.
Yeah. And tell us in the comments below what your favorite Dutch food is.
Yeah.
The last one, yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about, because last one's going to be talk to Dutch people about Zwarte Piet and kind of some of the culturally challenging and struggling areas around that.
Yeah, we see both sides of the controversy surrounding it.
We understand the history. We understand
and the tradition and things like that, but we could understand how it also could be upsetting.
Problematic, yeah.
So starting a conversation with a Dutch person about that, like we're doing right now, is...
We're probably going to piss off some people just by having this in the video.
Yeah, absolutely. So
if you really want to make a Dutch person upset, talk about
Zwarte Piet immediately.
Yeah. Ask them what's going on with it. Ask them if they've ever dressed up as Zwarte Piet, and give your opinions on it one way or another, and you're bound to piss off somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did we offend you today? Was there anything that we did that makes you feel just really upset?
I feel like we offend somebody in at least one person in like all of our videos.
That's fair. That's fair. But today, I think we went over and talked about some controversial hot button issues that are really just get people annoyed or upset.
And it's all in good fun, of course.
But if we did annoy you or talked about something that you did find a bit annoying or upsetting, go ahead and give us a subscribe. We could really appreciate that. And tell us in the comments down below what other things we as people here could do to upset or piss off people that live in the Netherlands.
We look forward to reading your comments.
Thank you all for joining us today. Delft was fun to walk around. Beautiful city if you have the chance.
So windy,
come
though.
by. Yeah, it's very windy. I think it's windy everywhere, though.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.